Alright guys, I'm going to go on my little tirade and say that rich people are smarter than you are. And it's kind of sad that I have to say that, but it seems I always use this word. People out there are so naive. They're like innocent little doves, unfortunately. In the Bible it says, be as innocent as dove, but as cunning as vipers. Or snakes, something to that effect. People are just so innocent. They believe a lot of the garbage that's being told to them. And one of them is, I'm going to say, rich people are smarter than you are. It's because they use your own good nature against you. And I'm not condemning all rich people, but I am condemning people like Warren Buffett, the Federal Reserve, parts of the Catholic Church that say, you know what? You should give your money. There needs to be social justice. There needs to be some equality amongst wealth. And I agree, but it has to be voluntary. The stuff they're advocating for is that government should be the redistributor of wealth. And the wealthy people that are advocating for the stuff, such as Warren Buffett, rich people like Obama, rich people like Hillary Clinton, they want to be the distributors of your wealth. Why? It's because they want to skim money out of the system. When you put it in government, this allows them to skim money out of the system. This is the game that they play. And most people don't understand that. A lot of people are good-natured out there. They want to help the poor out. And so they advocate for the government taking from one person and giving it to the poor. That's why we've been conditioned to think in those terms, such as like Robin Hood, steal from the rich, give to the poor. But what we're seeing right now is that the richer are getting richer. People like Warren Buffett, who advocate that there should be higher taxes for the wealthy, he has been getting so much subsidized money to subsidize his fortune, so much money, and yet he's advocating for more wealth distribution, and that's only to make himself richer and more wealthy. You know, that man does not care about you. What we need to do is, I agree that, yeah, hey, as we make money, we need to give back. But that's only voluntary, and that's only my opinion. For some other people, they might not be as nice as me. They might not feel that they need to redistribute money. And that's the whole idea about what's yours is yours. You know, and back in the day, the way the system worked out is that when people needed something, it was done voluntarily. And we had a lot of churches out there, charities and charitable organizations that were the givers of society. And the thing about that is, with charitable organizations, when they have good reputations, then people will give to those charitable organizations. But if there's a scandal within those organizations, they get less money. So it caused those charitable organizations to be run more efficiently. It caused more of those organizations to try to keep things on the up and up, because if they didn't, people would not give their money. Now, on the other hand, when government does it, when it takes money from you and it tries to redistribute it, what happens is the insiders try to get to that money first. Example, Solyndra. Solyndra was a solar-powered company that was funded by the government by the tune of, I believe, $500 million. The company went bankrupt. I suspect that when people knew that there was money headed in that direction, a lot of people some people got together and decided to create a phony solar-powered company, and they decided to take the money and collapse the company on purpose. That is my suspicion. You know, and there's no accountability. There's no accountability. Does the government apologize? Does the government go after Solyndra? Does the government do anything to protect people from losing their taxpayer dollars? Of course not. Of course not. Matter of fact, they're going to do it again. That's why you can't use government. You can't use government as the tool of making things equal. People, individuals, have to make those decisions on their own. Give to the organizations you want to give to. I love things like GoFundMe because it gives the person that wants to be funded gets the opportunity to voice through their free speech their needs, their wants. And they have to have some kind of credibility to go behind that. And if they rip people off, you might get away with it once. You know, if they get away with it twice, that's on the individuals paying into that fund. You know, people, the more you get ripped off, the more careful you are with your money. But it doesn't seem that way with government. It seems like government continues to make the same mistakes. So it's up to the people and individuals in society to be good people. It's not up to government. Because really, government is nothing more, at this point, it's nothing more than a bunch of corporations and wealthy people, such as Nancy Pelosi, who's worth, you know, north of $50 million, such as Obama, who's worth probably north of $10 million. They're all wealthy people, such as the Clintons, worth north of $100 million. You know, you notice how these people get richer when they're in government. Dianne Feinstein was worth $1 million back in '99, I believe, and now she's worth somewhere close to $100 million. You see what I'm saying? People are seeding money towards themselves, and they're Democrats or Republicans, but they're all playing the same game. They're all playing the same game, which is to compel you to give up your dollars to help other people that you think need help. But that only $1 gets to, for every $100, only $1 gets to the people that really need it. The rest goes to corporations. You look at food banks. They say, oh, we need to feed so many people. Well, you need to be thinking, what comes to my mind is, who's going to be distributing that food? Who's going to be getting these contracts? That's how I look at it. So we really need to be more thoughtful. Stop being so naive. Every time I see somebody saying they're going to do good, I always wonder, you know, why are they advocating? And I'm being long-winded. There's another example I want to use. Let's say we look at climate change or global warming. Who's advocating? Who's some of the biggest advocates for global warming, or who's paying into it? We see these large corporations like BP, who you think would be against climate change regulations. They're the ones paying into it. So they have some kind of interest, not in necessarily clean up the environment, but they have an interest in what's to come after climate change, which is cap and trade. You know, a tax on how much carbon dioxide you supposedly allow to get in the atmosphere. That's their interest, and finding that to make sure that happens. They have a higher interest in higher energy prices. Anytime you create regulation that gives the energy people an opportunity to either raise prices or to regulate their competitors out of business. Large corporations can afford to go to have increased regulations where smaller businesses can't. So we have to be cunning. We have to be smart. We have to understand that government regulation should not be the answer to our solution. It should be us, the individuals, making choices and decisions, saying we're going to buy, we're going to donate our money and our time to organizations, not government. Bible says give with a cheerful heart. Give with a cheerful heart. You know? Anyway, this is enough rambling. Thanks for listening. Peace out.